Right, we are literally 45 minutes out from our LinkedIn Live. We've got the flipping full camera set up. We are in the studio.
So right now we're prepping everything. We're going live in about 40 minutes, which is very exciting, with Niall, Morgan and Stephen Kenwright. And then we've got the 90-minute sales and marketing masterclass. So as you can probably see, there's a lot that's going to be happening. The guys have got no idea what's kind of coming up in this live either, which is very exciting. I think Morgan's about ready to go crazy. The fact we've not told him what's going to happen. But
we're just jumping on and riffing it live. It's a bit excited.
Talk us through the three sections.
So first of all, we're going to be introducing Stephen, who co-founded Rise at 7. If there's anything to know about sales and marketing, it's Stephen. So we're introducing him, letting you guys kind of know a bit about the current B2B sales marketing landscape, what's changed, why you need to know this and why it's so important right now. Then we're going to be going to boxes of money. So Niall, Morgan and Stephen are going to have a different box of money with a different amount. And the idea is, where would you spend this money right now? But also why? Equally, where wouldn't you spend it? So that everybody attending the masterclass has a bit of an idea of what actually marketing budget should look like right now. Maybe some of the mistakes to stop making in the current landscape. Then we're going to some kind of blind scenario. So the guys will have some envelopes of a different kind of scenario outcome. From there, they'll have to take a look at how they would deal with that situation as a business. Then we have two amazing guest speakers coming on who are going to pitch their kind of business challenges, get some live diagnostics from Niall, Morgan and Stephen. And then we're going to a live Q&A where you can ask your toughest questions.
So we'll drop some clips of us going live, but you'll see us in about 45 minutes.
Okay, so we're 30 minutes away from our live event with the infamous Stephen Kenwright over here. And honestly, I'm excited to go on and be part of it and talk about the current landscape and all that stuff. But one of the things I'm most excited about is learning from this man here, what he's doing, what he's done in the past. We've got some cool businesses coming in. They're going to be explaining what they're doing currently. We're going to give them some advice. I'd say not nervous. One of the things I like about these live events is the fact they are live. So we actually don't have much prep for these. We just kind of turn up and we riff it. And we've got some scenarios coming in. We have a general idea of what we're doing. You can see these people walking around and coming past us. So that's what keeps it fun for me. Like, we show up, it's live. We get to show what we can actually do. So that's part of it.
Amazing.
There you go, Matt. Get
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I think this is an unusually small amount of prep for me, if I'm honest. I like to know exactly what I'm doing. I like to turn up with a clear plan. And this is a new experience, so that's good. Basically, like, Morgan and Niall jumped on a call, I think it's like 2 months ago now, something like that, and just said, we've got 3, 4, 5 ideas. What do you reckon? I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll do all of them, or any of them. And then Niall particularly is just, we'll come up with something. We'll see you on the day.
And here we are. We show up. Hopefully, Philippa and Niall organised it.
And Niall's put on LinkedIn yesterday the agenda. I'm like, oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, good to know. I didn't even know we put it on the agenda.
We've got one. That's great. That's great. So that's nice, though. I think it's nice to be able to have a conversation where it's not a fully prepared presentation where I'm talking through the stuff that I kind of always talk through. And I feel like I repeat myself a lot, which I might well do anyway. But you know, you've got to say what works, right? So I think it's good to be able to actually see some.
We can do whatever we want to do on
real people.
If you're watching this a week from now and it's been absolutely horrific and we've butchered it, we apologise for nothing.
I've got every confidence it'll be fine.
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to introduce Stephen Kenwright, our special guest today. Stephen Kenwright was the co-founder of global agency Rise at 7. He was a former strategy director at Ride Shotgun, and he's now a non-exec for some of the fastest growing marketing agencies in the country. Let's welcome Stephen Kenwright on.
Hello. See why there's no walk-on music. It's quite a short walk.
Awesome. Well, Stephen, let's get started in terms of, we've obviously talked a lot off camera around signing clients and what those playbooks look like. But what do you think's changed dramatically over, you've been obviously in the space for probably 10 years now, maybe more. And it's what do you think's changed from when you first started to how you have to sign clients today?
I think there's long-term trends and short-term trends. So if we look at the long-term trends, it's now much more decision by committee, more people involved. 15 years ago when I did my first sales bit, was very much like a decision maker is there. You get that person on board and they sign a contract, and then everyone else just kind of gets to deal with the fact that they've got a new partner.
That's the dream, when they just sign off one person, sign off, not 7 levels.
But that's changed, and it's different in different countries, but the UK especially, to a degree the US, especially the UK, people are a lot more risk averse. They want a lot of people to weigh in on a decision. That's different people within a department, within a marketing department, but it's also legal, it's also accountancy, and all different types, things like that. So, there's a lot more people to get on board, which naturally means sales cycles are longer. Apart from that, though, talk about the short-term trends, uncertainty, right? What people hate more than anything, what markets hate, what the companies that we're marketing to hate as a result of the fact that the markets hate is the fact that there isn't a really clear idea of what's going on, and so everything becomes much more short-term. So you've got this real problem with people wanting to take a really long time to make a decision and people not wanting to commit to anything in the long term. So people aren't really doing a lot most of the time, which is where we find ourselves in right now.
Inside these 3 boxes is a certain amount of money. One has £100,000 in it, one has £10,000, and one has £1,000. What we're going to do, we're going to start with Stephen, then we're going to move along. Each of us are going to open the box, and that is our marketing budget. And the only aim we have is that we need to sign more clients. So we're going to open the box. Stephen's going to start. We'll show the camera the amount of budget he has, and then he's going to have to talk us through, if he had that budget, here's how he'd approach the marketing. Stephen, do you want to start? And it's like deal or no deal. Crack the box open.
I noticed that everyone on the desk has got an agenda except me.
Yeah. By the way, I think Stephen said this, but we haven't told him any of the situations. So
I have
100,000.
100 grand. With
real dollars in there.
real dollars.
Very cool. You got £100,000, Stephen. Where do you start when you're looking to build a marketing campaign to sign more clients with 100,000?
So this is somewhat comfortable territory. All the agencies that I've been in charge of marketing for have been sort of 50 to 250 grand as budget. 250 on the very high side for a brand new network, right? So very uncommon that's going to be the thing. I'd say the starting point is usually still, right, regardless of what the budget would have been, that position, segmentation, targeting, positioning. I think segmentation is somewhat scientific, but doesn't have to be. If you were a B2B business, you might have 50 clients. If you're a SaaS brand, you might have 500, 5,000, whatever. And so the number of clients you've got is going to dictate how scientific that gets. If you've got 50 clients, if you've got 10 clients, draw a circle around the ones that feel like the right clients, which are the ones that we want to be doing more with. What is it about them that makes them good clients? Sometimes, and this happens sometimes, we have no good clients and we'd really like to have completely different ones. Regardless of whether that's the case, you've got to take a position, right? You've got to decide, we're for this kind of brand. I would usually advocate, so targeted, right? We're for this kind of brand. I would usually advocate for having some conversations in the real world with some real people. Yeah. Get to speak to some people, even if it's an incentivized conversation. But like, look, what are you looking for? Hopefully you know some people. Hopefully you've got some clients you do a good job for, and you're like, I want to work with more brands like you. Like, we're building a business that's specifically designed to be as good as possible for that kind of company that you work for. What do you like about us? Why are we good for you? And would you
just literally like ping us like, can we have a call with? I'd just love to learn more about how we can help you.
Exactly that. I mean, like, we are here's the promise. We are fundamentally changing our business to be designed for you specifically. We're going to try and make our business the best possible partner for a company like yours. Who's going to say no to that? Yeah. Generally speaking, unless you've been doing a terrible job and they hate you,
and don't message that client.
Yeah, absolutely. So, 5 of those, some of them are going to be dream brands that you've never worked with, and you'd be surprised at how giving some people can be. Some people not, but, time and everything is of the essence. So that's fine. Like, about 5 of those, let's start to get a real understanding of what those people's pain points typically are. As you can tell, I'm doing something that's going to be applicable to all 3 budgets at the beginning because I didn't know which one I was going to get. That's the starting point. There's going to be some qualitative information there, some sound bites from those people, and something that's going to be on there that you might latch onto. From there onwards, I want to firstly build an audience list. Who are all the people that feel like they're like that person? Who are likely to be the brands, whether that's firmographic information, as in Brands have a similar sort of turnover, usually a good indication. So 100 grand, for example, talking about Rise at 7 marketing budget a little bit smaller than that. We knew who we were good for. Brands turning over somewhere between 50 and 250 million pounds. 50 and 500 would be great, but 50 to 250 because they were big enough to have a marketing team, big enough to have a digital team, not quite big enough to have a specialist search team. We knew where we would fit into that. We knew what that particular individual is going to, how they're going to work with an agency like ours. They're going to be able to move budget between our service and other services. If there's leftover advertising spend, we might get that, so on and so forth.
We've wrapped up our second ever live, and I think this one was even smoother than last time, and we tried loads of different stuff. We had boxes of money, we had live scenarios, we had special guests coming on. There's a lot that could go wrong. I think it went really, really smooth. We had hundreds of people on the live throughout, which was amazing, and we literally spent how long have we been prepping for, Philippa? 2 months?
2 months, yeah.
2 months, and it's really, when it's a live event, there's always just so much that can go wrong, from the streaming, the technical side of things, to everything we did. It went amazing. A couple of thank yous we'll do in the vlog. The first one is to, I have to move my head. Can you see that? Ministry of Work. Dan in particular from the Ministry of Work is fantastic with all the live streams. We do them all here in their studio, and with Dan, who's absolutely fantastic. Stephen, who's over there chatting now, but was absolutely fantastic on the live. And then let me just... and then Philip... And then Philippa is behind the camera as well. He spent a massive amount of time prepping it, and it all came together. So now we are going to grab a team lunch. No idea where, but we're going to get a team lunch, and then we'll have to get back to it. And hopefully, we'll have another live coming soon. Maybe an in-person event, depending on our stress levels and whether we want to do that or not.
Big in-person event coming. Be prepared.
Magic.